Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwanese netizens are going bananas for a strange metal tool made in Japan.
バナナで釘が打てます。
The Japanese company behind the steel banana hammer, which costs around $80 and weighs well over a kilogram, were surprised to see a recent surge of orders from Taiwan. Iron factory Ikeda took to social media to investigate the jumping sales and ask what Taiwanese customers were using the bananas for. An award-winning virtual reality show is back in Taipei. It's an international collaboration between Spain, France, and Taiwan. Yu Jinhuang has more.
Virtual reality, made with dancers' real movements. The show is called The Bali, The Bali, and won the Best VR Experience at the Venice Film Festival in 2021. Its creator, Spanish choreographer Blanca Lee, brought the experience to Taiwan earlier this year, but it was so popular that the country's creative content agency wanted it to stay, so an upgraded version of the show is now playing in Taipei. For this version, they tweaked the choreography, incorporating elements created by the top Taiwanese tech and design teams. It also takes place in an unconventional space, a science museum.
我们也会持续的跟很多的这个场域方，像科教馆、像平台方 HTC 这样的一个场域的这个合作者，能够让它落地。那也希望说帮助更多的这个内容制造业者，能够看得到商机，不是只有做艺术而已。
将手放下去，是的，稍微的往这边，很好。
Up to 10 participants can experience the performance at once, guided by 2 professional dancers, all wearing VR sets. Seeing digital art as vital to the future of the industry, Taiwanese tech giant HTC founded Vive Arts in 2017, focused on offering tech support to experimental art. For this show, they use a type of tracking technology called location-based entertainment. It lets participants share the same real-time interactive experience in a virtual environment.
里面还会有丛林啊，然后有一些密道什么之类的，就是很神秘的感觉。对，这个比较大，很大的规模。
我们能做到这么大的场域，我们讲的场域不是你们现场看到的，更大的可以到，比如说500平方米、1000平方米这么大场域，同时连接，比如说100台、80台头盔。
欢迎大家，欢迎大家，来，这是我的花园，我是 Jenny， 也是这里的主人。
To help participants immerse themselves in the story, interactive theatrical arrangements based on the virtual scenes are set up at the entrance. Made by a Taiwanese design team, they want to level up participants' sensory experiences.
对于惊喜制造来说，这一次是技术含量最高的，包含 VR， 包含网络串流，还有硬体设备等等，我觉得是非常大的挑战。
With the success of this international collaboration, the organizers hope this business model can bring more opportunities for Taiwan's tech and art scene. Klein Wang, Biqi Zhuang, and Yu Jinhuang for TaiwanPlus.
A museum has unveiled Taiwan's first ever complete blue whale skeleton. Pingtung's National Museum of Marine Biology and Aquarium showed off the results of nearly 4 years of restoration work on Friday. The carcass of the juvenile whale was the first of its species to wash ashore in Taiwan in early 2020. Blue whales rarely strand on beaches, and only a few carcasses have ever been recovered for display or research. There are just about 24 skeletons in the world open for public viewing. The Pheasant-Tailed Jakana has bounced back from the brink of extinction in Taiwan. And although their local population is now stable, conservationists hit a few bumps on the road to success. Brink Thomas has the story.
If you see a bird with a distinctive long black tail balancing gracefully on a lily pad in Taiwan, chances are it's a pheasant-tailed Jakana. But the odds of you seeing one 25 years ago would have been far smaller. In 1998, there are just an estimated 50 left. But efforts to protect the bird have brought its numbers back up. There are now almost 3,000 in the country, the result of careful efforts to rebuild their habitat.
所以初期花了6年多，其实都很专心，我们就责任就把栖地打造好。
But rebuilding the bird's habitat proved to only be one piece of the puzzle. In 2009, conservation efforts hit a setback when chemical pesticides on farms killed the birds en masse. This forced the government to work with farmers to find a way forward that protected both their livelihoods and the birds in their rice paddies.
不是只是祭出所谓的法令那要单方面要农民配合，而是我们去同理农民的需求，那让农民也愿意自主的朝向去减药，甚至最后不用化学农药的这个方式。
Although the pheasant-tailed Jacanas comeback is a success by any measure, it's also a lesson in the fragility of our natural ecosystem. The future of wildlife protection in Taiwan entails both bringing habitats back and treading lightly in the ones that still exist. Dolphine Chen and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
A record number of African migrants have fled to Spain's Canary Islands this year. Bryn Thomas takes a look at how one underage Senegalese migrant is finding community in the island's folk wrestling tradition.
With his legs planted firmly on the ground, this Senegalese wrestler is putting down roots in a new land. 13-year-old Sheikh Nada arrived in the Canary Islands in July. He came alone after a dangerous voyage from his birthplace in Senegal's capital, Dakar. And although he's new to Spain, he's no stranger to the ring.
Sama première fois fii laay commencé doog a bëre fii waaw ma jóge Sénégal waaw nekk jàmbaar waaw xam naa ne man su ma ñëwee fii damay bokk quoi su ma ñëwee si tubaab bi damay bokk ndax man dama doon bëre fee mbapat waaw loolu laa moom la.
Sheikh is among the record 32,000 African migrants to arrive in the islands this year. He's just one of an estimated 5,000 unaccompanied minors to make the dangerous trip.
waaw ngelaw yi ñoo sonal gars yi quoi moo tax gars yi di dee waaw noonu la demee mais metti na trop quoi waaw waaw yëfu góor la.
He was one of the lucky ones. A United Nations agency estimates that this year alone, over 500 people died making the 1,500-kilometer crossing from Senegal in West Africa to the Canary Islands. But with reports that at least 1,000 people are unaccounted for, the death toll is likely much higher. The migrants use the islands as a stepping stone to Europe, fleeing increasingly difficult economic and social conditions in their home country. Sheikh has been fortunate enough to find a community in the local wrestling tradition on the island of El Hierro.
Ellos salen de su país, salen de su tierra, abandonan su familia para buscarse otra vida en otros horizontes, ¿no? Y claro, llegaron aquí al Hierro, pues están compenetrados con nosotros hemos hablado con ellos, pues les gusta la lucha porque muchos de ellos han hecho la lucha LAM, la senegalesa, y vamos, están integrados aquí con ellos y yo es que les tengo un cariño muy especial.
Senegal and the Canary Islands have their own folk wrestling traditions. In both forms, you win by making your opponent touch the ground with anything other than their feet. It's one thing familiar to Sheikh as he adjusts to unfamiliar surroundings. Many African migrants arriving in Europe end up working in agriculture, but Sheikh seems to have a future in the ring.
dama yàgg dem ba pare Sénégal di daan moo tax mu bëgg ko quoi waaw sama xol la lekk quoi waaw.
Wrestlers anywhere will tell you that success in their sport requires a strong foundation and a stronger community. Far from his family and homeland, Sheikh Nada has found both. John Su and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, check out these paradise shell ducks strutting around New Zealand's South Island. The species breeds only in the oceanic country. I'm Ethan, take care, and I'll see you next time.